Scientists just figured out how to reverse aging with AI. And this is a massive breakthrough. We can now pull any kind of adult cell straight from the body and place it in vitro. These become pluripotent stem cells. They can propagate indefinitely and give rise to neurons, heart, pancreatic, liver, and more, virtually every other cell type in the body. They represent a single renewable source for replacing what has been lost to damage, disease, or time itself. From there, those cells can be driven forward into whatever the body needs. Fresh heart tissue, new skin, young neurons, blood stem cells, the engines of the immune system and vital players in metabolic health, energy production, inflammation control, and nutrient signaling. Finally, they are re-implanted and reintegrated. Aging rewound, injury repaired, disease potentially reversed. This tech is not brand new. It has been here since 2006. It even won the Nobel Prize. But what dominated the headlines? Britney Spears shaving her head, Mel Gibson's racist drunken tirade, congressional hearings on weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. While the world obsessed over scandals, soundbites, and misinformation, Shinya Yamanaka, working at Kyoto University, quietly cracked cellular aging wide open. Shinya Yamanaka, a surgeon turned scientist, discovered how to reprogram adult cells back to their earliest, most powerful state. He did not just question the dogma, he broke it. At first, many doubted him. Some said it was impossible, others claimed it was reckless. But Yamanaka proved them wrong, showing that ordinary skin cells could be rewound into cells with the power of the embryo. It was revolutionary not only for science, but also for ethics. Suddenly, humanity could pursue regenerative medicine without relying on embryonic stem cells. In 2012, Shinya Yamanaka was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, shared with John B. Gurdon. Yamanaka and Gurdon proved the impossible, that aging could be reversed at the cellular level. It was more than science. It was the opening act for a future of engineered longevity. The world was not ready, but it is now. It should have been the story of the decade. Instead, it slipped beneath the noise. To understand how we arrived at this point, we need to rewind nearly a century to 1937, when Congress established the National Cancer Institute, the first federal institute dedicated to a single disease. By 1944, it was folded into the National Institutes of Health, itself only recently established. Up to that point, science had been closer to the raw pursuit of discovery. Small labs fueled by curiosity and the hope of easing human suffering. They followed scientific inquiry wherever it led, with little thought to markets or margins. However, when the National Cancer Institute merged with the NIH, discovery became tied to congressional budgets, and Congress in turn was bound to lobbyists and special interests, such as pharmaceutical giants and food conglomerates. Science was no longer only about uncovering the truth. It was about producing results that aligned with political agendas and private corporate power. Today, government labs aren't running this show. Tech billionaires are. Sam Altman didn't just invest. He wrote a single check, $180 million, nearly 20% of his fortune, and built RetroBio. This isn't a side bet, it's his moonshot. Altman poured nearly $200 million into the dream. RetroBio's work builds directly on Yamanaka's foundation. Using AI to design new proteins and molecules, the company is pushing cellular reprogramming from an experiment into a therapy. The implications stretch from curing age-related diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's to repairing injuries that today would be irreversible. If cells can be taught to remember youth, then aging itself becomes optional. And yet, this pursuit carries echoes of an older, darker moment. After the first atomic bomb was successfully detonated, Oppenheimer was interviewed, and in utter despair, he reached for ancient words to capture the weight of what had been unleashed.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Today with Altman, the parallel is impossible to ignore. The same fusion of genius, power, and consequence is at play, but the trajectory points in the opposite direction. Oppenheimer armed us with the power to extinguish life. Altman may arm us with the power to escape death. What if the real question is not whether we survive, but how far we can evolve? We're just scratching the surface of what's possible. Subscribe and let's keep exploring how far we can push human potential together.